Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Are you a high school football player who's tired of waiting on college coaches to notice you? What if I told you there's a way to get real colleges to reach out to you with scholarship offers and a financial package? If you are a junior or a senior who is serious about playing football on the next level and having school paid for, well, this video for you. Hello, somebody. Let me introduce myself. My name is Marlon Big Favorite. As a defensive lineman, I won a national championship with LSU in 2007 and then won a Super Bowl championship with the New Orleans Saints in 2009. Today, I'm a part of a broadcasting team who does the pre- and post-game analysis for the LSU Tigers. You might catch me on other media outlets talking sports as well. But here's what I'm mostly passionate about. My real job is running Conquer Sports Professionals. At our New Orleans and Baton Rouge's facilities, we specialize in elite training for high school and college-bound football players. We provide position-specific training, strength and conditioning, and speed training to help our athletes dominate on the field. But that's just part of what we do. The big part of what we do is we help high school football players secure offers to play college football and pay for their education. Here's the reality most players face. High school coaches just don't have enough time to do all the recruiting work that you need. You show up to 7-on-7s and camps, hoping some coaches will notice you out of 500-some kids. What usually happens is you waste your entire weekend because nobody was actually watching you. Most guys just throw their applications into a void, hoping something sticks. That's not strategy. That's gambling with your future. Here's where we're different. We have a network of 1,000 coaches and scouts representing every level of college football from Division I FBS, FCS, Division II, Division III, NAIA, IA, and junior colleges. We start with a complete skill assessment. We discuss your football and your educational goals. Then, based off your talent, we personally contact coaches and scouts who are looking for exactly what you bring to the table. We don't send out emails. We make direct, personal contacts. Why does our approach work so well? Because me and my team here at Conquer has years of experience in the sports world. Our network is broad and vast, and we can get you in front of coaches and scouts who can offer you a spot. Here's what this means for you. Number one, you never have to worry about what to say, how to say it, or when to say it. You just show up, play your best, and let the results take care of themselves. Number two, when a coach responds, we personally prep you for each call and visit. We walk you through what to expect, what to say, and how to make a strong first impression. Our team of former NCAA and NFL players manages the outreach, sending and replying to messages every single day. This makes it almost impossible not to get noticed by a college program. But we don't just reach out randomly. We write messages to show real intent, why you like their school, references to their program, and their academic reputation. We make it personal, real, and human. We have direct contacts and relationships with the decision makers. So a coach just don't see a name or a stat. They see you, a player that belongs in their locker room, and they trust that we will only send players that fits their program. Now, I can't cover everything in this short video, but if you like what you heard so far, or if you're even a little bit interested, click the link below and book a call with our team. Worst case scenario, you leave with a clear plan on how to control your recruiting process. Best case scenario, we work together and you sign a college offer with a scholarship. And if it doesn't work, we'll keep on working. We'll find a way to get you somewhere. There are tons of opportunities out there and we'll help you discover them. So is this worth 30 minutes of your time? Absolutely. The only real risk is doing nothing and watching another season go by without hearing from a school you should be playing for. Even if you're unsure or on the fence, book a call anyway. The application just takes minutes. And if we can't help you, we'll let you know right away. Click the link below and we'll see you on the call. Hello, somebody. Marlon, Big Fave favorite. I got my co-host CL NOLA in the building. We also got Lil Chris, one of our intern students right here at Loyola. Oh, it is Monday Fun Day. I hope y'all out there having a blessed Monday. I want y'all to also take this time, if you have a cousin, an auntie, a friend, a family, whomever, take a little time and let them know about Conquer Sports Pros. It's csportspros.com. If there are juniors or seniors that's looking to take their high school football career to the next level to play college football and have it paid for on the next level, definitely visit csportspros.com for more information on those services. Well, fellas, it was an upsetting week here in Louisiana. in terms of the games. Hopefully we get some great convo. There was a little bit of great energy this week coming up out of the state of Louisiana. Actually here, Zion Williamson shows up to the media day in great shape. Look like he's ready to roll. So we'll have David Grubb, good friend of the show, come over later and talk to us a little bit about the Pelicans. Well, business is first. It's important that we take this time to break down the Saints versus the Bills. Now, fellas, if y'all don't mind, cut the music down just a little bit. I don't want it to get too quiet, but cut it down just a smidget. The fact of the matter is, this team is improving. They may not be improving at the rate that we want them to improve, fellas. And y'all feel free to comment. Y'all can hit us up right here on the ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube chat. Please join into the conversation. And also feel free to hit us up on our social medias as well, at BigFave504. CL, he don't mind getting on the phone with you. CL_NOLA and Lil Chris 3K.
Yep.
Hit him up as well. So
Underscore,
yes. They got kind of symbols and everything else, right?
Yeah.
But what I will say about this team is the conversation is, man, Spencer Rattler is now 0-10 as a Saint. And I wouldn't really look at that stat. The stat that I would look at is the fact that he did complete 18 of 27 of his passes. On his birthday, he was playing exceptionally well. And I think if you look at it from the perspective of a team that's improving, some things we're going to point out the negative to make a positive picture. CL, I got to come to you first. Just looking at this Buffalo team, knowing the team Buffalo is now 4-0.
Yep.
We've seen them go against a really good team in Baltimore.
Correct.
Go toe-to-toe with them, and when Josh Allen had to show up, he showed up. But to see the Saints team hold Josh Allen to 209 yards, now it wasn't too much that they could do with James Cook. That's a whole nother story. We'll discuss that. But CL, your thoughts just on the Saints' performance overall.
Overall, I believe we played with pride.
For sure.
Overall, we played with something to prove, not only to the National Football League, not only to the fans and the people that's invested into the New Orleans Saints, but themselves. And I believe we actually became better as a team on Sunday, where we decided to stay with the run and accumulate over 100 yards rushing, even though we were up against, a heavy foe. This team really has shown a level of getting better in a very short time. I can remember, I know for sure, I'm talking about remember, it's only been 4 weeks. I know for sure that we led the league in penalties. Started off with 13 and, went to 11 and so on and so forth. But this game, we only had 4. I also noticed that, we weren't the best rushing team in the league, but we decided to stay with the run, and we accumulated the 100-some-odd yards that we needed to stay balanced, which is very important because when you're dealing with a team that has averaged over 30 points every time they played a football game. So for the most part, obviously there was some sparks. Shanker with his interceptions and his breakaways. Obviously we have a safety now. We know that can cover tight ends one-on-one. I'm grateful for the progression, but there is no gift in a win that you don't win. So
no more victories, bro. Yeah, there's no more victories in football. L is an L. This does leave the Saints 0-4 on the season. It was we could look at open up against Arizona, one play away. Yep. We tied the game up. I take the Saints in that. Looking at Arizona moving forward. CL spoke about it a little bit, Chris, but when you go back to the Saints on defense, they did some good things. We saw some young guys out there balling, handling business. I don't think this was Kool-Aid's best game, but he did lead the team in tackles. You look at Demario Davis having 5 solo tackles, being productive. One of those tackles being a tackle for loss.
One miss for a touchdown.
That one miss. But what about your guys, CL? When we talk about Cam Jordan coming up with a big sack when needed, we did get 3. Brian Bruzy, big time play having a sack, and then you also had Carl Granderson. To me, is one of the dark horses to one of the top players on this defense, in terms of production and what he's doing. But Lil Chris, when you look at the Saints defense overall and its production on probably one of the highest powered offenses in football right now. When you look at this Buffalo team, this ain't no pushover team. What's your thoughts, Lil Chris?
I think I have some positives and negatives. The positives is they played great against the pass. They played. I mean, they only held 200. They only held Josh Allen to 200 yards passing or 209 yards passing. Jonas Sanker had an interception on him, a few sacks on him, 3 sacks to be exact, like you just said. The pass defense, it was pretty solid. Run defense, on the other hand, against James Cook, not so much. 117 yards on 5.3 yards per carry and a touchdown. I feel like the run defense kind of has to get better as the season progresses, but the pass defense, it definitely showed some solid signs yesterday.
Run defense definitely has to get better, but what has to get better for this team immediately is we have to make routine plays routinely. And unfortunately, we have not. We dropped some balls for first downs. We just don't seem to be able to put it all together in one complete game. We might be able to do it for a half, because I think that first half we played great ball in the first half. Second half, not so much. But we definitely have to make routine plays routinely. When we're in the red zone, we have to get points from that. Obviously we tried the Philly special, it didn't work, but we have to. But I don't have a problem with trying to get the Philly special. I have a problem with the turnover in the red zone. We have to get 3 points from that. We have to, especially when we play these better teams. Like I said, the penalties were better, the defense was better, but ultimately we didn't make the plays offensively. We have not had a complete game yet, and that's what we are waiting on.
If y'all just tuning in, baby, it's Inside the Trenches. We are recapping the Saints versus Buffalo game. We'll look forward to the Giants game here momentarily, but I think y'all all are making some good points, and it's real. Like, you looking at a team, their red zone efficiency continues to be inconsistent, not only in this game, but we can point out, like we mentioned before, the Arizona game, that one play Jawan Johnson makes that play, we're in a much better position. Spencer Rattler did show a lot of poise. He knew when to move his feet. Spencer Rattler knew exactly when to get the ball out of his hands. I would probably go on a limb to say that it's a few times, he may have maybe thrown the ball. Yeah. Misfired a couple of times. But what I even noticed this in the preseason with him, he would throw an interception, come back the next drive, throw a touchdown pass. So that's why you don't really catch a lot of negativity with him.
Well, this is not a Rattler problem situation. If you think Spencer Rattler is the problem of the New Orleans Saints,
you're not watching Saints
I don't think you're watching the game. Yesterday, for about a half of football, was the first time we had our complete offensive line intact. For a half of football, 4 games, we've only had our starting offensive line intact for a half of football. Ruiz goes out, Simpkin replaces him. Not too sure if that's a bad thing as of yet to be seen. But this is the type of situation that we're uncovering. We're realizing that we've actually changed the way we run the football by using our tight ends. And I can understand, some people are frustrated. We not going deep more with Sheed or Lave because we're playing more 2-3 tight end sets to help with the run game and to help with the pass protection. But with all that being said, we are a work in progress, and the progression is going up.
Oh yeah, I have to agree. And you look at Kendre Miller's improvement. You saw it in training camp.
Healthy.
Came back in shape. He's healthy, and he's given us that shiftiness we need at running back. Alvin had a pretty decent day as well. They were neck to neck in yards. Alvin had 70 yards. He had 65 yards. This isn't exactly what we saw with him and Mark Ingram,
Right.
but it's a start. Overall, the Saints almost had 200 yards rushing.
Right.
That's why they was able to stay within within range of this Buffalo game. It got out of hand with some miscues. You think about turnover ratio when a player is able to be effective with that. Spencer Rattler didn't turn the ball over. Now on the Philly special, Chris Olave threw the interception,
Right.
but in all actuality, I see they're trying. They're trying to be effective on defense. Now offensively, this receiving core, it's a toss-up to me because you got Rashid Shaheed really overachieving. I have to be honest with you. He has improved over the years, but he had some type of effect on yesterday. He had 4 catches. But overall, you look at 18 receptions out of the receiving core. I mean, it has to get better than that, y'all. CL, when you look at creativity with the group you have, they got Brandon Cooks involved a little bit. I like that, trying to get him the ball, but it's just hard when you can't really throw a lot of 50-50 balls.
You know what I don't see from the New Orleans Saints wide receiver core? And we know all the obvious things. But what I don't see anyone that's selfish. I don't see a so-called prima donna. I don't see a guy that's not happy if he only gets 3 targets in the game. You know, I just don't see a guy that wants to step up and be the man. I see a lot of guys going along, getting along, doing what they can. And now, don't get me wrong. Shouts out to the offense to take heed to what I've been begging for us to run more than we actually pass to help us stay balanced. But when we do have these passing plays, we have to be explosive, especially going downfield. We haven't been taking the shots because think about this, and I hate to use this comparison. When Randy Moss used to get loose, he would literally throw his hand up. He would literally throw his hand up to throw the ball. I need a wide receiver with a New Orleans Saints uniform on to want the ball that much to where he's throwing his hand up to where he wants the ball. Not saying that our gentlemen don't want the ball. I just need a guy that's aggressive about having the ball and making plays. And thank God that Taysom Hill and Foster Monroe came back to practice today.
Oh, that is true. You do get Taysom Hill back. You do get Foster Monroe. Foster Monroe gives us a different element at the tight end position. Taysom Hill gives us a whole nother, even as a decoy, he's respected in what he does offensively. And I'm looking forward to seeing how Kellen Moore is going to use him. So, he's going to be a huge asset.
A guy that wants the ball.
A guy who wants the ball. Now, when I think about Randy Mosses of the world, when I think about Jerry Rice, we could go modern day, Michael Evans, Jamar Chase, who's going to be playing here in a little bit. When you look at these guys are ball hogs. Get me the ball. Throw me the 50-50. If it's up there, it's mine. Right? The guy who's supposed to do that for us is Chris Olave. He is supposed to be that guy. He's very hesitant. You can see it. He's making plays. Like when he scored that touchdown, when he caught the ball, he was like he hit his head like, yeah, I can make a play. Like I saw that. I don't know if y'all picked up on that.
Yeah, I know.
I kind of picked that up in his game.
Like
Chris.
a release.
Yeah, like a release. Like, I did something productive. I don't know if the kid been through a lot injury-wise.
Yeah, with concussions and stuff.
Yeah, and you see the hesitation, little Chris. Somebody else outside of Chris Olave and Rashid Shaheed has to step up major as a ball catcher. It has to.
Vele, Palmer.
Somebody, yeah.
Jawan Johnson, somebody.
My money on Taysom Hill when he come back. I promise y'all. My money on Taysom Hill.
Oh, yeah.
I don't gamble. I don't bet. But my money is on Taysom Hill.
I mean, and that would be a safe bet for offensive production.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not even about, what guys could catch, run, shake. It's about just who going to have a dog in them, who's going to be productive. Now, when you look at this, you should say Vile. We traded for him in the preseason. he has to tap into his inner Michael Thomas. I mean,
he did it one game. You know, he gets the touchdown in the red zone and he scores, and then I don't see him again.
No production.
I don't see him again after that. So, you know, maybe we're waiting for Palmer to get up to speed with the playbook. But, you know, Juwan, they finally figured out that Juwan is not a tight end. Maybe we can line him up in tight end position sometimes, but for the most part, he is our possession receiver.
Yeah.
He is the guy that Rattler is looking for. He is the guy that Rattler is most comfortable with, like a true number one, you know, even though he is Juwan Johnson. But at the end of the day, we don't have it. We need it. We still looking for it. The trade deadline is not over with. I don't necessarily want to trade anybody, but this is the production that we're missing in the offense that needs to help the defense for us to be a better football team in 25.
What game was Ville productive in?
It
wasn't Seattle.
No, it was San Francisco. He catches the touchdown.
San Francisco
in the slot. He plays big boy ball and bodies him out and catches the touchdown.
And that's my thing. Like, when you go to that San Francisco game, I know San Francisco right now is San Francisco.
Right.
Yeah.
But 26-21, like, we barely lose that game. Again, no more victories in football. But, I mean, here's a game we barely losing. But from a production, that was it. He had the one touchdown for 3 yards when he boxed him up. Yeah, I need more production out of
I'd have took that Sunday.
I would have took that Sunday as well. Like, we needed him in the red zone. I say instead
White was having a terrible game. Shouts out to LSU.
Yeah, LSU.
I'm sorry,
no,
brother.
low key, that wasn't his best game. He was missing tackles, and they still pulled off the win. Right. That's the part I guess.
They even pulled him out. And he came back in and was a part of the last play, you know, just to stick with it. Then that's the difference between a good team and a bad team. At the end of the day, they didn't play their best game, even though they still did their average of 30-some-odd points. But what happens is good teams find a way to win, and obviously not so great teams find a way to lose. And that's why they're 4-0, and that's why we're 0-4.
Well, we definitely saw that with our next opponent, the New York Giants. I mean, Coach Brian did what he had to do to
save his job.
Let's call it what it is. But before I move on to the New York game, we have been hearing trade rumors. It's a lot of trade rumors out about Alvin Kamara, saying that Kansas City has their eye on him. They're one playmaker, electrifying running back away from taking it back to the Super Bowl or deep in the playoffs. I'm going to come to you first, CL. I heard you. That's why I'm coming to you first. I don't want to see anybody traded either. But the trade deadline is at the end of next month. And, I mean, some teams got to make some moves. I mean, I know if you look at needs in the season, we almost, this is the end of the first quarter of the season, right? We're going into October ball, next 4 games. When you look at needs of the Saints, I look at another for sure pass rusher. There's somebody else. We're getting to the quarterback, but just some, like, if you look at the New York Giants, when you think of Brian Burns.
Oh, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. I think it's between, shouts out to all my folks at the BT Jordan pass rush training camp. Three of his players are the top 3.
Oh, for sure.
Guys, you got
Thibodeau.
No, it's not even Thibodeau.
Abdul.
So
Dexter
right
Lawrence?
now, number 1 is Rashad Gary.
Okay.
So he's a BT guy. You have
BT
Brian
guy.
Burns,
BT guy. Okay.
BT Jordan, who's a pass rush specialist at the Broncos, but he in the offseason he trains a lot of the pass rush guys. Cat from here. He's from the West Bank of New Orleans. Went to Archbishop Shaw.
Shout out to the West Bank.
But big ups to the west side of the bank.
Oh, yeah.
But you look at productive guy, and then he also works with Myles Garrett.
Nice.
So all of these guys are the leaders. Brian Burns, he might have nudged him this weekend. I got to look at the production sheet, but I know as of last week.
He definitely got home this weekend.
He definitely got home this weekend. I was going to say that.
He did.
And I guess we could go ahead and see how I did ask you about the Alvin Kamara rumors with Kansas City. Is that no shot, likely, or man, that might happen?
Well, so there was a situation that happened in Buffalo where a young man was getting an autograph from Miss Benson, and he asked Miss Benson to do him a favor and fire Mickey Loomis. And Miss Benson gave out the sweetest chuckle, the sweetest little laugh as she signed the autograph, and she walked off. Well, it just reminds me of this moment right now. I'm not going to give a sweet laugh. I'm going to just be honest with you and tell you that that would be the best option because he's our best player, which gives us the most in return. There isn't another player on this team that we can get a return for. So to jump ahead and all y'all in the chat, we can't trade Chris Olave. He's on his last year of his deal. And I'm telling you, the book is out on him. So we're not going to get value for him anyway. So to answer your question, yes, I've always been a fan of Kendrick Miller. Y'all see what he can do. He lined up at fullback on the short yardage play and got us a first down in the run game. So he's obviously versatile. He's even returned kickoffs. So we have a back. We also have the rookie Neal. This is an opportunity. Think about it. We got 3 draft picks for Lattimore. Think about what we could get for an Alvin Kamara right now, today.
Your thoughts on that, Chris?
I think he is our best trade value right now. Absolutely. I mean, who else can you trade on the team? Not Demario Davis. I mean, Demario Davis, he's too old. Cam Jordan, he's too old. Chris Olave, he's a good player, but like
Injury
you said,
prone.
Injury prone, and he's in the last year of his contract. I feel like the only solution is to get Alvin Kamara, or to trade Alvin Kamara and get some need in return, maybe like a pass rusher, or maybe get some depth in the offensive line. Who knows?
Sometimes, sometimes you got to look at value for what it is, value. And I know everybody's not a big fan of the Dallas Cowboys, but that was a big move with Michael Parsons to Green Bay.
Oh, for sure.
That matchup happened. It ends in a tie, you know, and they had a plan for Parsons. I think he got back there once, but for the most part, he wasn't really productive.
And it's just ironic, this whole situation with Parsons and the Cowboys, just ironic because actually Dallas would have actually won that game if he wouldn't have came backside and tackled Dak before he got into the end zone. But furthermore, it looks like what Dallas will be able to do because shouts out to Dak, Louisiana boy. They have the number 1 offense in football. Ironically, they have the worst defense in football. So those draft picks can help make the defense better immediately. While at the same time, yes, Green Bay looks great. Green Bay looks like they have a great team. We could borrow one of their wide receivers if they want to trade for one. But
especially Romeo Dobbs.
Boy, stop. But at the most part of it, you know, it seems like right now, in my opinion, Dallas has won this trade, even though it was a tie at the actual football.
It was a win because they got the value from it. They did get a valuable player. And Clark,
and he ain't no slouch.
And he's not a slouch. And you
sack on the play.
I think about I think about needs. Like, okay, with Alvin Kamara, you trading for him, do you get one of their big dog offensive linemen?
Right.
Do you go after
position?
Plus a draft pick. You got to look at it from that perspective. I look at the Saints' 2025 draft class, right, and look at who's productive. Calvin Banks got hit with a hot 16 yesterday, but overall he's been okay.
But overall he's been balling.
He just got hit with
How good you gonna play against Bosa?
Yeah, for hello, he hit him with a hot 16, and it just was what it was.
Oliver.
Weezy was out of here. Jonas Sanker, big interception. You get him in the 3rd round. Quincy Riley, he's been playing.
Who's been getting playing time.
Who's been getting playing time. And then lastly, Fidel Diggs, who's been getting heavy rotation. So, obviously New Orleans went into this draft with intent. So getting some draft picks, getting a player that can contribute this year on your team, preferably at guard. I mean, pick a side. And roll. Which, by the way, the Saints' offense was, for the most part, with the exception of Cesar Ruiz going down, Not mad at who went in for him
Nah, man.
at all.
Simpkins Jr.
Yeah, he's balling out.
Becoming our rotational guy on that line.
On the cool.
Yeah.
On the cool.
Yeah.
From a center guard.
Right.
You know, wherever somebody goes down, he's able to plug in. He's somebody, you get an SEC lineman, and you bring him in, and he makes an immediate impact. He's able to essentially, and that check going to be nice this April, too.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
That's when all the incentives go out. Like, you're undrafted getting real significant reps. Yeah, those bonuses going to pay out nice.
Oh, yeah.
Only problem is ain't nobody going to trade for Ruiz.
That's what I'm saying.
That contract,
Now,
worst guard, right guard in football.
there is one other possibility. There's another possibility. And it's only one team that's probably willing. And that's Taysom Hill to the Broncos. Now, we could look at what value they have, but I see CL immediately shake his head, but that's another thing that I've heard. That's not my thought. That's what I've heard. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. And this just your GM coming out. See, coach is smart enough just to wait till we release him. Coach, because coaches know that we're gonna want something for Taysom. He's already fleeced us for 2 picks for Vele. He's not gonna come back and double back and then give us more than we deserve for Taysom when he could just wait for Taysom. Because we almost let him go this year because he costed us $30 million. We could have cut him and saved $30 million this year, and we kept him. And he played as many games as I have. So
0.
So coach is not crazy. And so just to be honest with you, it just as your GM, it just doesn't make sense.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't. I mean, it's something that just lets you know that this team don't really have a lot of value stock in players. It's nobody in the receiver core that makes you jump out like, ooh, I got to get this guy. Nobody. Nobody on defense. Nobody. I mean, last year we had Lattimore. We got lucky with that with Washington because he had some value. But everybody else, this team doesn't hold a lot of value in trades, so who knows what they're going to do.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I do know that the New York Giants are coming in town. Guys, we got about 4 minutes left here in this segment. And y'all need to stick around. Thank y'all also once again for tuning in here on ESPN Baton Rouge, right here on Inside the Trenches podcast, where we love to talk sports and entertainment. And remember, if you've been in a car accident, you can get Gordon and get it done. Get Gordon, get it done, an official sponsor here on Inside the Trenches podcast. Hello, somebody. Get Gordon and get it done. All right. Jackson Dart got it done on Sunday for the Bucks. Another rookie as well, and Scatboo. Scatterboo.
Cam Scatterboo, yeah.
Came from Arizona State.
Yes, sir.
Big time running back. Bust his tail. We talked about Brian Burns had a sack the other day in this game. New York, they had a total of 250 yards, but they still won the game, obviously, with the turnover battle, winning that battle. This New York team ain't really that good. They do got some hype, though, right?
Yeah.
'Cause they had just had a win. Now they 1-3, Lil Chris, and they got a spark at quarterback. Trust me, CL was just talking about off air LSU versus no, that was you talking about LSU versus Ole Miss 2 years ago. Jaden Daniels' Heisman year. Your thoughts on New York coming in town? Is this the Saints' first win?
I'm going to give him a shot and say yes. I do believe this will be the Saints' first win of the season. I think Spencer Rattler has to end the streaks somehow, get his first career win. No Malik Neighbors coming into this one. He just teared his ACL. Prayers out to him. Shout out to LSU. And I just don't see who else can, at least offensively for the Giants, I just don't see who else can beat this team besides maybe Cam Scatterboo. And if you look at the defense, I think it's going to be a defensive ball game. Because I do think the Giants' D-line is going to maybe cause some disruption to the Saints' offensive line. But I think it's going to be deep. I just think it's going to be a defensive ball game, and I think the Saints will just find more ways to win the game.
Yeah, CL, I really feel like you got two teams who just going through it. New York probably have a little more spark now because they got the win. But as you mentioned, and speedy recovery for the homie Malik Neighbors.
Oh, yeah.
Malik was down here kicking it with us for the Super Bowl. We hung out, and you hate to see that happen to a young man who's at the height of his career. A lot of bad injuries on MetLife Stadium. I know they just released a list of players. Yeah, ironically, that guy has some major injuries because if y'all look at it, Joe Alt and Malik Neighbors went down yesterday on that field. So from New York, I played on MetLife one time. Thank you, Lord, I didn't have any injuries on that field. But yeah, they got to make some changes there. But you got a New York team that has a little more confidence coming in New Orleans. Keyword coming in New Orleans. We back home. 2 games lost on the road. The Saints are hungry for a win. CL, when you look at New Orleans' possibilities and keys to victory, your thought process.
We can definitely win the football game. We do have to continue the 3-headed monster of Alvin, Miller, and Rat-Tat-Tat running the football to stay balanced, to help out the defense. I'm not ready to crown Jackson Dart New York Giants Hall of Fame just yet. After this first game, that was a nice little dance he did at the for his little touchdown. But I still believe he's a rookie. I still believe we have a defense that can show up and cause some confusion. I look forward to our young guys showing them what we can do. I look forward to our defensive line showing them what we can do.
Hey, every time CL say I'm not ready to crown somebody, they don't have a good game the next week. So
JJ McCarthy.
He did the same thing with Gary Nussmeier, which we'll talk a little LSU next.
Don't get me started
when we get back
on
here
him.
on Inside the Trenches. Well, hopefully the Saints become victorious. But yeah, it's going to be a road here. But well, look, y'all, we're going to take ourselves a quick break. Once again, big ups to the G team. Remember, get Gordon, get it done. If there's any injuries, car accidents, anything that happened, his injury attorneys will be on it, baby. You can hit them up at 504-800-8888. Yes, indeed. It's Inside the Trenches right here on ESPN Baton Rouge. YouTube Live. We'll be right back. Talk a little Tigers.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Here is where your story continues. Stretch the limits of your imagination. Create the world as you see it. One letter, one word, one pixel at a time. Move to the rhythm of your own story. Make something more. For him and her and them, for the world. Do what you love. Tell stories like never before in state-of-the-art recording, news, and editing studios. Created just for you. Learn skills that will never expire. Document moments, seconds, frames per second. Turn them into masterpieces. Creativity is more than a lifestyle. Make it a career. Tune into the sounds around you. Those notes, you were always meant to sing them. Creative boundaries, you were always meant to break them. Become the creative professional you are destined to be at the Anchor Institution for the Creative Economy. This is a stage, a world stage. New Orleans, culture rich. Loyola, hands-on access. Make the next move. Perform and work immediately. We do things differently. Use your creativity to impact society. Expand your mind. Be with and for others. Continue your story in the College of Music and Media at Loyola University, New Orleans.
Inside the trenches.
Conquer Sports Professionals.
Hello, somebody. My name is Marlon Big Faith Favorite. If you are serious about playing college football on the next level and having it paid for, visit us at csportspros.com. Again, that's csportspros.com, or you can click the link below.
Conquer Sports Professionals.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Well, welcome back. Welcome back, beautiful people. It's Inside the Trenches. It's your host, Marlon, Big Fave Favorite, and we are live here at the Loyola Studios. Production team, big ups to them. Doing a great job with the show, and big ups to you guys for tuning in. My co-host as well, having ourselves a good time. Of course, if y'all just tuning in, we're joined here with Lil Chris as our intern Loyola student co-host, and also the man, the myth, the GM. They had about 5 NFL teams called him, tried to have him come in, but he said, I got to go do another season Inside the Trenches. So CL NOLA's in the building representing. Positive news, Tulane did beat Tulsa.
Yeah.
Chris, what was that score?
It was.
A little bit to a little more.
They won.
Yes. I know they scored 31.
They scored 31 shots out to Coach Summerall.
Yes,
That's
yes.
my dog, my round, my Woody. Shots out to Coach.
It was 31-14.
31-14 beating Tulsa. I had my LSU screen up here, so that's why I couldn't do it. Big ups to Tulane. Continue to win. Chopping wood.
4-1,
Carrying
baby.
water. 4-1. That's big. You lose to Ole Miss.
Yeah.
LSU did that too this weekend.
Oh, boy.
Not as bad as Tulane, but we
Yeah.
did lose.
Yeah.
Nah, man, I can't crush Tulane in the same sentence. I give them props. They just look, 2 Louisiana teams lost to them. We'll just say it like that.
Yes.
Mississippi got us. And Tulane was hanging in that thing. They did some good
Yeah.
stuff. I watched that tape. That was one of the games I reviewed. I thought Tulane did some interesting things in that matchup.
Oh, Mr. Chambliss.
Yeah,
Trinidad
Mr. Chandler's
Chandler.
act a fool. He did. And watching the tape, I knew that he was going to run a lot on us. And for the most part, LSU defensively handled their business, but it was the production on offense that wasn't up to par. I know y'all ready to chime in on this. 59 rushing yards is not acceptable. LSU has to find out an answer for their running game. With LSU Sports Radio, we were at the Coshada Hotel and Casino Resort in Kendall, Louisiana. Big ups to them. The food was off the chain.
Sound like they had the good food.
I tried the oxtail, gravy oxtail with mashed potatoes for the first time with some Brussels sprouts. It was off the
You
chain.
gonna try to sneak the Brussels sprouts?
Yeah, I stuck it in. I had to get something green on there. You heard me? I did stick a hot, 10, 15 in the machine. 40 came back out. So, you know what I'm saying? Got to know in the roll, got to know in the fold. right? But
Definitely.
you know, the food was a win, the experience was a win at the Kashada Hotel,
Nice.
but LSU not winning wasn't good. It wasn't. I had high expectations for this team going into this game because I was looking at LSU's defense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Top defense. 10. Yep, top 10. And I was looking at Ole Miss's offense, which is a top, at the time, 15. They might slide in 10 now. And I'm like, okay, that's going to be the matchup. Well, LSU did hold Ole Miss to 24 points. I think this was their lowest scoring. Yeah, this was their lowest scoring game the whole year. So that's volume. I mean, they put up 63 against Georgia State. They put up 30 against Arkansas. Kentucky. They put up 41 against Arkansas, 45 against Tulane, and 24 against us. So that was, I guess, I don't like to find those type of silver linings and dark clouds, but, I mean, a loss is a loss. So this sport, as we said with the Saints, don't have any more victories. LSU, CL, what are the problems? What are the bright spots?
What a great question, Mr. Favorite.
I can't wait to answer this.
What are the problems? Well, let's start off with the top. The problem is coaching. Brian Kelly seems, and there's a certain advantage to not being at the game. I can admit that. There's a certain advantage to not being at the game because when you see something, you can sit there and I just saw something, and you can rewind it. I personally feel that Brian Kelly doesn't have structural control of this team at LSU. There were two such situations where timeouts were called, and he was livid because a special teams player called a timeout, and obviously Nussmeier called that second timeout. And he was livid, as in the fact that he doesn't have overall control, knowing that there are other players that could call timeouts. He should just have that control of that. But I won't bore you with the things that I saw. I'll bore you with the facts, right? 59 yards rushing for any SEC team will never get it done. 2 of 11 on third down for any SEC team will never get it done. I have sat here in this chair and told you I was not impressed by LSU against Clemson. When they were ranked number 4, I didn't believe they believed to be number 4. I thought LSU should be ranked like number 7, not to number 4. And now they actually played a team in the SEC that had some skins on the wall, and we really saw what they were. You telling me that LSU had 2 bookend pro offensive linemen last year and they couldn't run the football. Fast forward to this year, you have no pro offensive linemen, and you think you can run the football?
No.
I was I wouldn't say happy. I was surprised to see a Durham on the sideline with an injury. So I thought this was the time for Johnson to get the meat of the carries to show what he could do at running back. There is no recipe for LSU to have multiple backs touch the ball 5-6 times and they be effective in the run game. You have to decide that one guy, give him the bulk of the carries, and let the rest of the guys spare him. I believe the experiment on Caleb Jackson should be over with. I believe that number 8 should get the bulk of the carries and let Harlenberry and 29 spare him when he's healthy.
Yeah, we dropped big time. Most of these polls got us at 13. We were ranked at 4. Rightfully so. I mean, Ole Miss wasn't in the top 10 when they played us. They were 13, so they just basically swapped us out.
Last against the run in college football.
And I think that's what the committee's looking at. Yeah, we did play them close, but we supposed to be this LSU team. 13 isn't a horrible spot. It doesn't take you out of the top 10. You're going to have to claw your way back in there. You're going to slide probably in the top 10. Potentially this weekend. Why? You don't play.
Don't play.
So, you can't get in any trouble.
You need a break.
Trinidad Chambliss rushed single-handedly more than your entire rush attack. That's something that has to be addressed quickly, and I think it will be in this bye week. Jawan Johnson. I did talk to Lafayette's ambassador, Cupid, earlier.
Cupid formation.
Texting back and forth.
Waiting for it.
He don't really like the idea of Jawan at running back. He feels that Jawan should go back to the position he played in high school where he was Mr. Louisiana. He does hold the record for most passing yards, and I think he broke Ryan's record and Peyton Manning's record. But you look at it from the perspective of here's a kid who is being as productive as he can with the cards he's dealt.
Right. Totally correct.
My co-host said this weekend, Brandon, and I'm glad he was very candid in the way he said it. He said, if Nussmeier is hurt, he needs to say that, or we need to address it. You look at Nussmeier's production last year, the production was on course to going back to where it was last year. I think he took a step back in terms of production this weekend, of course, but the arm was stronger. You got Chris Hilton Jr., CL. He got 10 yards on him. He had to come back and try to make that play.
I'm so happy for you, but I'm so sorry that you took my steam away.
Oh man, I thought the steam came out already, man.
You took my steam away because maybe we should, Cupid brother, maybe you're right. Maybe we should have Mr. Johnson at quarterback because it's apparently obvious that Nussmeier's hurt, but he's not being 100% with the team. So in the same time, because two things could be true at the same time, he's hurting the team because he's not effective. He has nothing behind the ball that he's throwing, and there's not a secret that he couldn't get it down the field because he just doesn't have it. And, of course, they're sitting on that because they know the talent that we have with Mr. Anderson and such who happen to be injured.
This is what I will say, little Chris. Nussmeier when healthy, has a strong arm, a pro-strong arm.
Sure.
I think he has some, you put the right weapons around him, give him the offensive line like he had last year with the best pass protection in the country with those two guys. I mean, we see Will Campbell, 0 sacks, baby, 0 allowed. He made T.J. Watt look like an elementary player, straight up. I like to see it. Go Tigers.
It's a good game.
And he a Louisiana native, balling out for the Patriots out there. Save some clam chowder for me, big dog. It's been a minute since I've been in Foxborough. But he has to run. I was screaming that last year, and I'm going to scream it again. It was so many instances in that game where Nussmeier's in the pocket, he drops, he schemes, and you get pressure at you or you throw a bad ball. Just run.
Penny?
Y'all know, listen, could this guy run? Drew Brees.
No.
Drew Brees might have ran a 5.4, 5.5 at the time.
I think I could run faster than Drew Brees.
Yeah, but in Drew's defense, when nothing was open, when Marcus Colson isn't open, Devery isn't open, just check down not open. Drew just gonna run. Is he gonna run super fast?
No.
Well, and maybe Mr. Nussmeier is tentative to run because he's hurt.
No. He wasn't hurt last year.
Okay,
I had
okay.
the same issue last year.
But I'm talking about this year.
Yeah.
You are 100% correct. There are situations where he can take off and make that third down a little shorter than he should be instead of trying to force
Chris,
the ball.
Here's my whole thing. I agree with you too. Here's my whole thing. Drew Brees was hurt. I'm not comparing him to a first
Ballot Hall of Fame.
First ballot.
But I'm just comparing him to another slow quarterback.
Right.
You know who's slower than Drew Brees? You know who's slower than Peyton Manning? Tom Brady. All three of the GOATs, quote unquote, are slow. Peyton Manning, slow. Drew Brees, slow. Tom Brady, historically slow. Them boys know when to rush when they got to rush. I didn't seen it. When it's time to get a first, I done seen Drew Brees do a spin move
against the
at
Atlanta
the goal
Falcons.
line. Let's go.
That was against Atlanta.
Yes.
They called that the spin that.
Come on now.
I won't have to tell you that I was
there. But think about it though, dog. That's what I want Nussmeier to do.
Who's the
Tap
backup?
into that.
It's time to have that conversation. When I told you for the Southeastern game, maybe Nussmeier should sit out and they let the Cupid formation against Southeastern and play that little role. I said there was no benefit for Nussmeier to play against Southeastern. So his arm is already not at the greatest strength. He plays that game. How many times he throws the football?
I mean, he went all the way into the third quarter. That was enough for me. But this is what I'm saying, y'all. And this is what I told Cupid, right? Shouts out to Cupid. I think 1 million listeners on Spotify.
Oh, yeah.
Big ups to
Great
Cupid,
performance
man.
in Houston as
in
well.
In Houston
bro.
for the Texans.
Oh, yeah.
I saw what you did, though. You had to talk about the flex your body and all that stuff. With the number 1 Texans jersey on.
I saw that.
We're going to have your old lady go over there and get a Tampa Bay jersey autograph because that's what you know you wanted. I saw you. No. I saw you. I saw what you did. Go ahead and turn over there. Yeah, it was. Oh, no, man. I can't wear no Tampa Bay stuff. Houston booked me born with Bun B, you know?
Yeah.
But shout out. This is what I told Cupid earlier. I do like Juwan Johnson at quarterback. Mm-hmm. He was a practicing quarterback in the spring. Mm-hmm. Only issue I have is they had him learn a whole nother portion of the playbook as a running back. As a young player, his mind is fixated on that. So what I would do is I would go, if Nussmeier is hurt, I would go with Van Buren, run the Cupid shuffle with him. Because one thing that Van Buren adds to that position is mobility.
For sure.
And Lil Chris, that's what we need.
We do need mobility. We need mobility. We need to run the football, get moved the chains, get the first down, just help the defense out somehow. Because Nussmeier, you just have to use your legs, or if not, then maybe we have to call for a back who's able to use their legs and get the run game going. Help out the defense, please, and control the ball from the line of scrimmage. That's literally all we're asking for.
Sound like coaching.
That's what they made for. That's why we got
and you know
him.
What? You know what? I was at a sports bar in Baton Rouge. I was at walk-ons and whatnot. And I said it during the game. Lane Kiffin definitely outcoached Brian Kelly.
Oh, for sure.
He definitely did.
For sure.
And I mean, Coach Kelly, cool, man. He acknowledged where, things weren't right. Mm-hmm. And luckily, CL, the bye week came when it came.
Well, it's funny you say the bye week came when it came. How much is the bye out? Because LSU has the talent to make the playoffs with or without Brian Kelly. I believe he's already lost at least half of the locker room. And I'm just talking about, 85% communication is nonverbal. So I'm just looking at the players. I'm looking at the players when they make a good play. I'm looking at them when they mess up. I'm looking at them when there's a big play on the other side. And there's just no connection with Coach Kelly and this young team. I was the first one to say that. I believe he was on the hot seat this year. I'm still standing on business.
Definitely on the hot seat.
I believe that he has because what happens if he loses against South Carolina? Because we all know that LSU needs to run the football more. We all know that Nussmeier needs to deliver the football better. You know who else knows that? South Carolina. So what has to happen? And that's a great question. Why don't y'all get in the chats and tell me. What has to happen for Brian Kelly to be dismissed from his position? Because this team is good enough to make it to the playoffs with or without him.
Well, I'll say this. Coach Kelly has done some good things at LSU. This is the longest winning streak that we've had before this week since the 2019 era.
Championship.
So, I mean, it is a long contract. It isn't it wasn't a 4 or 5 year contract. He's on year 4 of a 10-year contract. So, I mean, I have faith in Coach and believe that he could turn this thing around. It's a lot of moving pieces. I give credit where credit is due. I think he did an exceptional job in the transfer portal. I think we're number 1 in the transfer portal.
I agree.
And you don't usually see like multiple guys really stand out like this in the portal. Like, think about it like this. We usually see like a Jaden Daniels. It was one guy that came over here through the portal. Joe Burrow. It was one guy that came here through the portal. You look at Cam Ward leaving Washington State, I think, and then going over to Miami. That was a standout. But watch this. Monsoon Delaney, standout corner for us, portal.
Yes.
Bernard Gooden, standout.
88.
Yes, 88. Defensive tackle. Really stands out up front, right? I mean, this is probably Halsey. A.J. Halsey stands out.
You know, but
in the
I just got
portal.
one
You see
question.
what I'm saying? It's go ahead.
And one question I have is, when you look at Ole Miss, and you look at the talent of Ole Miss, and then you look at the talent of LSU, who has the more talented team?
Oh, the LSU Tigers.
The
Oh yeah,
LSU Tigers.
it's not even close.
The
It
LSU
is close.
Tigers.
It's
The
somewhat
LSU
close.
Tigers look like they didn't belong on the football field with Ole Miss on Saturday. You know what that is?
Coaching.
That's coaching.
Coaching.
That's all.
It was definitely some miscues in the coaching staff. I think those guys are man enough to look in the mirror and say how we could fix this. We have to get creative with the blocking in the run game. We have to. I saw a little bit of that. That was Florida.
Yeah. Or commit more guys to block.
Less
guys out in the route, kind of like the Saints are doing.
Yeah, I could see some bunch formation. Using
More
the
tight
receivers,
ends, less receivers.
which we saw that they added a little bit of that in. They brought in Sharp and Tredaz Green,
Right.
Yeah.
which I wish we would have went at him more. Which Ole Miss did a good job defensively. When we did go at him, they had 3 guys right there ready to make a play.
Sure.
So they were on top of that. But I think once again in the portal, you go get a guy, not Trinidad James, gold all in my watch. Don't believe me, just watch. Not Trinidad James, but Chambliss. You go get him. Your quarterback does. Your starter gets hurt. He pops in. I don't think he pops out at this point.
Oh, he's staying. He should be the quarterback for them for the rest of the season.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. If y'all just tuning in, baby, it is Inside the Trenches. We got a couple more minutes here. Shouts out to the G team. Once again, get going and get it done, baby. If you have any injuries due to a car accident and you need top-notch team of attorneys, should I say, hit up Get Gordon. They have 19 offices throughout Louisiana.
Nice.
Also right here in the 504. 504 is the number, 800-8888. Also, I want to send a big shout-out to Health Nut System, baby. Dr. Kendra, once again, we was just talking about Chris was like, man, Fade, bro, you look kind of young, man. You were a player, bro. That's because Dr. Kendra's hooking me up with the Elixir Fixer, baby. Get the nutrients I need every day from her Speed Up 365. CL been rocking more jerseys lately because he been on the Dr. Kendra sea moss. She done brought the sea moss over here for him.
I appreciate
He been
you,
out of
man.
control. So big ups to her. And if y'all want to check out some of Dr. Kendra's products, y'all can visit stillbody.org for more information. Fellas, that sea moss is off the chain. We got about a minute or so left here. I just feel like we still got, a 2-loss team can get in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Games to pay attention to right out of the break, South Carolina. To me, Sellers is probably the most consistent quarterback. You have him and what's my boy from Oregon? Dante Moore. He's balling right now. Mather from over at Oklahoma. He's balling, so you got some guys. We're looking to see a little more out of Nuss. We're looking to see a little more out of Arch. These are the 2 front runners for the. We're looking to see a little more out of Drew Allard.
Yeah.
He's
Klubnik.
Cade Klubnik. All these guys.
DJ Lagaway.
These guys are losing. Lagway's losing.
Yeah.
So it's that race is going to be what it is. Jeremiah Smith is still a guy in that conversation as well. So I mean, it is going to be something to check out. We all definitely stick around for segment 3. We'll be joined by David Grubb, baby.
Grubb.
That's right. My dog Grubb coming through, talk a little Pels. We're going to have to ask Grubb his thoughts on the Saints, too. I can't wait to get his take
He's very
on the Saints. Yes, indeed. And LSU, he probably got an opinion, too, about.
Got something to say, I'm sure.
But I definitely want to talk to him about the Pels. I know Media Day was last week, and, they got this team coming in, so we definitely want to check that out. Well, y'all don't go anywhere, right? It's Inside the Trenches right here on ESPN, Baton Rouge. Hello, somebody. Go ahead, somebody.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Conquer Sports Professionals.
Hello, somebody. It's Marlon Big Fave Favorite, Super Bowl champion and national champion. Here's the truth. Almost anybody could play college football and get a scholarship or financial aid if they know who's looking for them. Now, you may not be a Division I or Division II football player, but that doesn't mean you can't play college football on the next level. There's hundreds and thousands of schools out there that's looking for football players like you to give you a great education. Right now, the average cost of school is $27,000 a year. That means that's $180,000 just to graduate. Imagine cutting that number down with a football scholarship or financial aid support. At Conquer Sports Pros, we find the right schools that fit you, your talent, your goals, and your future. And they will pay for your education through football. Don't waste time guessing. Let us connect you with coaches and programs that are already searching for players like you. If you're serious about playing football in college to pay for your education, click the link below or visit csportspros.com and schedule a call today. Hello, somebody.
Conquer Sports Professionals. Conquer Sports Professionals.
Hello, somebody. It's Marlon Big Fave Favorite, Super Bowl champion and national champion. Here's the truth. Almost anybody could play college football and get a scholarship or financial aid if they know who's looking for them. Now, you may not be a Division I or Division II football player, but that doesn't mean you can't play college football on the next level. There's hundreds and thousands of schools out there that's looking for football players like you to give you a great education. Right now, the average cost of school is $27,000 a year. That means that's $180,000 just to graduate. Imagine cutting that number down with a football scholarship or financial aid support. At Conquer Sports Pros, we find the right schools that fit you, your talent, your goals, and your future. And they will pay for your education through football. Don't waste time guessing. Let us connect you with coaches and programs that are already searching for players like you. If you're serious about playing football in college to pay for your education, click the link below or visit csportspros.com and schedule a call today. Hello, somebody.
Conquer Sports Professionals.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the trenches.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, that's right. Welcome back to Inside the Trenches. It's your host, Marlon, Big Fave Favorite, and we're in hour 2 of the show. Thank y'all for sticking around with us. We want to take this time once again to thank Conquer Sports Pros. That's right, Conquer Sports Pros. Visit csportspros.com. If you're a junior or a senior in high school, you're a high school football player, and you want to play football in college and have it paid for, you might want to visit that site ASAP. Conquer Sports is running their recruiting program, getting players in college, whether you're a Division I player, Division II, college is for you. Hit them up at csportspros.com for more information. Well, one thing that I really love to do is relive my hoop dreams, baby, and that's what we're going to do here with our next guest. Our next guest goes hard in the paint. You can catch him on the Boot Crew Media as well. Anything you need about Tulane basketball, football. Quiet has just kept local high school football and basketball here in the state of Louisiana, Saints. But what I like to bring him on the show a lot to talk about is the Pels. Our next guest is none other than my man, Dave Grubb. Welcome back to the show,
right.
What's happening?
Grubb,
It's
baby.
always a pleasure to be with you. So let's get into it, man. I don't want to waste your time. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. So how's everything been going, man? It's football season. I know you do your thing with Boot Crew Media. You do a take. Talk to our viewers about that.
Yeah, first I want to give a shout out to the whole team at Boot Crew. Last month on YouTube alone, 54.1 million views of our stuff. Wow. So I want to give shout outs to everybody over there for the work that we do on a daily basis. The Post Up is my show that's on 3 days a week, Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. New episode out today, breaking down a lot of what's going on as we get into the preseason here. First game this weekend on Friday, Pelicans in Australia. So we got that coming up. So folks, check that out. The bird rights, we're going to have that going up again as we get towards the games and everything. So, it's that time of year. I've been also out there covering my beloved Car Cougars. Been out there watching those boys and doing a little artwork for them too. I don't know if you see on social media on the Cougar football page, but the weekly game posters and the game day posters and the season schedule. That was me. I did those for them.
Oh, that's cool.
Because I've done them the last 2 years for the team, and I just my way of being an alum and giving back to the school a little bit. So shout out to that team and the great job that Bryce Brown and that staff are doing.
No, that's a credit to your work ethic. We've been doing this now almost 10 years. Well, you've been doing it solo too, but I've been doing it, for a while. And to see you get with a really good crew like Boot Crew Media, and it takes a really great, man. I like the little reviews of the LSU games and so on and so forth. So I appreciate y'all for keeping us up to speed.
I mean, it's always most important to have a team that backs you. It's never about the guys that's in the front. It's never about me and Fave. Trust me, it's always about the team that's backing you and doing all the important things. But enough of that, Grubbs.
Yes, sir.
As far as I'm concerned, you are the foremost knowing and telling person about the New Orleans Pelicans.
I'll humbly take that. Very humbly, I'll take that.
Because I think I know something until I sit down and I talk to Grubbs. Give us the 411 on them Pels, baby. We understand that they're gonna show up in Melbourne, Australia, in the next couple of days. What team is gonna show up in Melbourne?
Well, I'm gonna start with this part. I think that you've already seen a dramatic change as far as the approach. Results are to be seen, right? We can't say nothing about results yet. But I think there's been a dramatic change in approach from the David Griffin era to what Joe Dumars has started already. And Griffin's approach was about building a familial organization. And I don't think that the modern NBA player is really concerned about that.
Right.
I think success breeds camaraderie in any situation, and losing makes things difficult. I think what players want is to be talked to and told, what can I do to be better? What am I not doing right? But to be encouraged in that rather than feel defeated. And I think that there came a point last year in particular where you could see that the entire organization was defeated from top to bottom. When people are coming out and saying what DeJounte Murray said this offseason and say, we felt like we were out there alone. When Brandon Ingram has said the things that he said in the past and what he again mentioned today. In Toronto, there's a disconnect between what's going on all levels. Zion Williamson and the criticism that he has rightfully received for not showing up for games, in total only playing 2 seasons with more than 60 games on his ledger. So all of those things happen. But when Joe Dumars says, I'm going to continue to build this team around Zion Williamson, well, then you got to get buy-in from both sides. And I think you see in Zion embracing responsibility for the first time in his career because the Pelicans have given him responsibility for the first time in his career.
Right.
He's the only franchise player I had ever heard of who wasn't given the franchise. And I'm not saying that as like do everything for him, but you make him the centerpiece. Zion wasn't introduced last at games.
Right.
Zion wasn't the centerpiece of marketing. And you can say, well, he wasn't always around. That's not what you do with franchise players. When Kawhi Leonard ain't around, the Clippers still selling Kawhi Leonard.
Every day.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to tell you about Kawhi. They're going to wait till Kawhi comes back. The talk is always about Kawhi.
Correct.
Well, with the Pelicans, the talk wasn't always about Zion. It was about Brandon. It was about this. It was about that. It was about Willie. It was about, is Griff going to be here? Is Gail going to sell the team? Is the arena going to get fixed? All these things. It was never about Zion Williamson. And I know fans are going to be like, well, it's always about Zion. We're waiting on him. Not for him, it wasn't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he never felt centered in that. And you can say, well, you're catering to it, but that's the business now. You have to cater to your franchise player in some way. Whether it's in the NFL with the starting quarterback, whether it's in the MLB, if you got Shohei Ohtani, you're going to take care of Ohtani, right? So if you've got a franchise player, and in basketball, one player has more impact than any other sport, right? We know that. In basketball, one guy can have more impact than any other sport. When you have that guy, you have to do the things to make that guy excel. So I think that has been the approach this year. The thing that I also like, though, is Joe, while he is supporting Zion, he has not put all the eggs in the Zion basket.
And I can appreciate that.
He understands that Trey Murphy is a potential all-star and he needs to be cultivated. He understands that what he has in Jordan Poole is a career 20, a guy who scored 20 points per game twice and who last year had his most efficient season as a scorer. Can he improve? Absolutely. He hasn't reached his prime yet. He's 27. You know what I'm saying? He can get better. But you have those two players, and then you went out and drafted Jeremiah Fears, who through all the reports of training camp so far has been extremely impressive, is coming along faster than what they may have thought for an 18-year-old point guard, which is always a concern. And then Derek Queen, who they are really high on, who has to come back from injury. So you've built your young stars who, if this doesn't work out with Zion, you can pivot quickly and start building around these young guys. And you could have still an impressive group with Trey, Herb, Jordan, and these two rookies. You could have a team. And Misi, if he continues to develop, you've got the building blocks of a potential team down the road. So I think what Joe Dumars has said, if we're going to have Zion Williamson, let's squeeze everything we can out of this young man. We may only have 3 more years with him this year, and you got 2 more years under contract. So if you're going to do it, let's do it now. Let's do it right. Let's make sure we've given him what he needs. And then the other part of that is let's be prepared for the future. So I think the Pelicans, while they are not a perfect team, I don't expect them to win a championship this year. I expect them to be in contention in that very vast middle of the Western Conference. I think you have 5 really good teams in the West. And then everybody below that, 6 through 13, is about the same.
It can go either way.
Are you healthy? Are you playing well together? That's going to be the determination because we've seen it's been a game and a half between seed 5
Definitely.
You took
and
the word. I was
seed
about
10
to ask you.
over the last
Right.
couple seasons. So
Right.
I think the Pelicans at this stage, looking at them, I think they're a team that on the low end, if you're saying what's the worst case scenario, I'd say it's probably about 36 wins on the low end.
Okay.
On the high end, I'd put them at about 44, 45 wins if everything goes well. The West is hard. You ain't gonna get to 49 easy.
Nah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The West is really hard, and they've got a difficult schedule, particularly in the start of the season. So I think if everything goes well, then you're right there, 6 through 10. However the West breaks, if everything goes well, you could be 6. And I think if the Pelicans end up in a 6 spot, or even if they end up in 10, they got to make the playoffs this year. That has to happen. But I think that if you end up in 6, after what happened last year, you'd be pretty happy about the Pelicans season, wouldn't you?
No, no doubt. And one thing I know the fans are excited about, what we've been seeing a lot here the last week, has been Zion Williamson's body transformation. Looks like a whole new player. And now that I listen to you talk, it makes me think, I wonder how much of that had to do with Joe Dumars saying, hey, Zion, bro, I need you to drop 45 pounds and really attack this offseason. I think he was doing football workouts,
Right.
just really hitting the pavement. Now that Zion he looks smaller than Duke Zion right now.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think that affects his game? Well, I mean, obviously he probably kept his strength. He's still a young man, but does that help? I mean, I could tell you right now, as a big man, you drop some weight on them knees.
Hips. Knees, hips,
Sure.
right? Knees, hips, back.
Lower extremity.
As a basketball player, what are the things you're most worried about? Your feet, your ankles, your knees, and your back.
Yeah.
Right? Those are the things that
My
you're always
neck and
concerned
my
about.
back.
So if you're Zion and you've taken that pressure off and you are a high explosive type player, you use a lot of force to get off the ground.
Yeah.
Look, Charles Barkley went from 320 to around 250, 260, and he still was a big, powerful dude, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that Zion is not going to lose his strength. But I think the thing, and I talked about this on the pod last week, and you know this from when we were younger, they call it cross training, but really all it was for us as kids was you played other stuff.
Right.
When
Mm-hmm.
Right.
every dude in your high school who was an athlete, and most of the girls too,
Mhm.
if they played basketball, they ran track, they played cabbage ball, they played softball, and the football players ran track, they played basketball, some of them played baseball, some of them whatever. You know what I'm saying? But as the seasons changed, your athletic goals changed.
Right.
But we've seen in America this over specialization. And you see all these kids when they're young, baseball players having to get Tommy John surgery.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the elbows are blowing out at 16 years old. You see more and more of these Achilles injuries because kids are playing full court in the gym for 5 hours a day rather than playing half court at the park like we used to.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you're playing in game conditions all the time when you're 12, 13 years old. That's taxing on your body. You got to give your body, and you know this as an athlete
Oh,
better than
yeah.
anybody, you got to give yourself different ways to train. If you do the same thing every day, your body at some point gets conditioned to it.
Yeah.
It responds the same way to those. The workouts don't work the same. So to put Zion on the track, to put Zion in football workouts, to get Zion doing other things other than basketball, activates those parts of his body that he wasn't activating before. And I think that also keeps his mental part of his workouts engaged because I'm giving you something that you're not typically familiar with. You know what I'm saying? I got to be engaged now. Because if you're doing the same basketball drills, dropping back, going side to side, scoot, doing the same work in the gym, it's boring too.
Yeah.
So I'm keeping you mentally engaged because today we're going to be in the pool. Tomorrow we're going to be on the football field. Next day we're going to be in the gym. Next day we're
That
going
was
to be
smart.
lifting weights. And it's changing that thing up. And I think it has gotten him engaged. And I think folks need to chill out too because people mature at different rates. And it's one thing if Zion Williamson was a bad person. You know what I mean?
Right.
And just didn't care. I just think he's a young man that's taking longer than maybe it should have to grow up.
Yes. Yeah.
But
That's
entering
true.
the age
That's fair.
24.
That's real.
24.
It's fair.
That's
It
real.
seems if he's starting to figure it out. And we need to give him I'm not paying his salary. The Pelicans are paying his salary.
Right.
Right.
So as long as they're paying it, give him a shot.
Gotta
Right.
give
him a
him
shot.
That's true. If y'all just tune in to Inside the Trenches, we here with my man D Grubb. We go hard in the paint, baby. You can also check him out at Boo Crew Media as well. Follow him on X at DM Grubb.
Yes, sir.
So much to get into, in regards to the Pels, Saints, LSU. He got you covered like a blanket, baby.
Definitely. You have so much information about the Pelicans, and we do designate a lot of time to Zion. And I hope, just like I'm sure we all hope, that it's important enough for Zion this year to, take us further than he's ever taken us, because obviously he is the key cognate. But at the same time, we have a budding all-star in Trey Murphy Jr. What is the possibilities of Trey making the all-star team this year in the West?
Well, the biggest thing is winning.
Yeah.
Pelicans got to win.
Yeah.
Because Trey's not going to win on the vote.
Mm-hmm.
That's just, let's just be real.
Especially being in New
Let's
Orleans.
be real. You know what I mean? Like, only 3 Pelicans have been voted in.
Right.
Chris Paul, Anthony Davis,
That's right.
and Zion.
Zion.
That's it. Everybody else gets named. So I think for Trey, obviously winning is important. But when you look at the thing I look for Trey is, can he match what Brandon Ingram's best season was in New Orleans? And Brandon's best season
24.
was 25 points. 25 points, 7 assists, 6 boards.
Okay.
Do I think Trey Murphy can do those things? Yeah. He averaged 21 a game last year and wasn't used to being the first option.
Right.
And let's remember this. The trio of Trey, Zion, and Herb didn't play a single minute together during the regular season last year. Not a minute.
Scandalous.
And those 3 over the past 3 years prior, whenever they were together, they were the Pelicans' most effective trio.
Right.
So now you get those 3 guys fresh. You think about a starting lineup, and the center position we could talk about, but that's the one that needs to be figured out. But if you're talking about Jordan Poole, Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, and Zion as your starting 5, who in that group is not going to get their shots? You know what I'm saying? You got Zion who's attacking the rim. He's going to give you 25. You know that easy.
Right.
Zion can give you 30, but off bat, he's giving you 25. He scored 25 in 29 minutes last year.
Yeah.
He scored 25 points in 29 minutes last year a game.
Right.
So he can give you 28. Trey is shooting a bigger volume of threes than what Brandon ever shot. And this isn't belittle, but Brandon shot about 6 threes a game. Trey's going to give you 9 3-point attempts a game and going to hit it a 45% clip most of the nights, 39 to 45%. You give him that. His ability to put the ball on the floor. He talked about adding the mid-range game this year. And it's not that, no, he's not going to become Carmelo Anthony and just be sitting in the mid-range. But when they chase him off that three-point line, as teams are going to be aggressive in doing now that he's number 2 on the option sheet rather than number 3 or number 4, he's got to be able to put it down, and you're not going to be able to get to the bucket every time. Right. So to take that 1 or 2 hard dribbles and to be able to pull up at 6'9", which Trey is 6'9" with great arm length as well, then I think that adds to it. Trey also has a high rate of getting to the free throw line. That's important when you're going to get numbers. We saw with Shea in the finals, right? Shea was getting to the line against the Pacers. They couldn't stop him from getting to the line. That's what Trey can do. Trey, if Zion and Trey are getting you to the line, Jordan Poole is another guy who gets you to the line, then I think that the offense remains open because Jordan Poole is going to take a lot of threes as well. He's going to be aggressive going to the bucket. So I think if the Pelicans can get that ball movement going, there'll be more open looks for Trey, which weren't the case last season. Right. So I fully believe he's capable of giving you 24 points a night. He's capable of shooting 50, 40, 90, and he's capable of giving you, he had 10 assist games last year. So I think on a nightly basis, because there's no true point guard until DeJounte comes back, he can give you 6, 7 assists on a nightly basis.
What's that time frame?
Yeah, I want to ask you that next.
January.
No,
they're saying now early January, which is about a month ahead of schedule because we were usually thinking about late January, early February. But it looks like, according to reports, that he should be ready like right around New Year's. So I mean, if the Pelicans have only played about 30 games before he comes back, it's gonna be a real interesting development to see how this team has evolved by the time DeJounte comes back.
Because that's my thing with Murray. Like, when he does come back, how does the starting lineup look? I know you talked about Trey Murphy, Jordan Poole, of course, Zion, Herb. Center position, kind of, you're looking at Misi.
And
Looney and Queen. Yeah, because you do get Looney over from Golden State.
We
Familiarity for Jordan Poole, too, so you got that chemistry.
All the dirty work.
All of it. How does that starting lineup shape up when...
That's the hard part, because I think the other guy who's the wild card in how the lineup is going to look is Jeremiah Fears.
And that's my question. That's my question. Where do you see Fears fitting in as far as time?
Because you think about this, and this is the thing with the point guard position. Jordan is not a point guard. Jordan is a lead guard.
Right.
But they're going to ask him to play point guard to start the season. Jeremiah's not going to get a ton of minutes in the start. Because you think about it. If Jordan is playing 30-plus minutes a night, most of those are going to be at the lead guard spot, a few at the 2. But who are you going to second? He's going to Jose second, right? We know that. Jose's his guy. Look, him and Willie was sitting next to each other all through Summer League. That's his guy.
Jose's still 6 feet and Fears is at least
I
6'4".
hear you.
experienced.
I hear you, but we talking about it. Willie Green got to win games, right? Putting an 18-year-old point guard is not typically a recipe for winning games. Having that guy play heavy minutes, but I believe you got to find him minutes. You have to find opportunities for him to fail, because that's what this job is. As a rookie, you're going to fail. It's like being a point guard is the quarterback, and it's the hardest position to transition from college to the NBA. And you also give him the part that he's a year younger than everybody else. He should be going into his freshman year of college,
right?
And he's going into the NBA. So, but if Jeremiah Fears can progress faster than expected,
Okay.
and make Jose Alvarado, and I know their Pelicans fans will be upset, but the goal should be for Jeremiah Fears this year to ascend to become the number 2 point guard.
Number 2.
Because if he's the number 2, DeJounte reassumes the spot at number 1, and you could kind of shift that lineup again.
Yeah.
And you start preparing Jeremiah to take on a bigger role next year. And by year 3, he should be the starting point guard, right?
That's
That's the plan.
That's the plan. But the big thing is, what is DeJounte capable of when he returns? Because the problems you had with DeJounte last year is that he didn't make shots. And he turned the ball over way too much. And he wasn't giving you a great defensive effort. For all the reasons that DeJounte has now talked about and that we saw. Pass is a pass, but the results were the results.
Right.
If he comes back and he's not ready, does that stunt Jeremiah's growth? Because you start forcing those minutes, right?
Right.
Because he's the vet and you're paying him $30+ million. You got to get something out of him.
Right.
So if you start forcing those minutes, that's going to be how they get DeJounte back into the fold. Or if they decide they don't need him at all. That could be true too.
Right.
If Fears is so good, if he makes it like that and they say, we're ready to go and we can trade DeJounte and his contract and get more depth at the center position or get, another experienced wing to help us out off the bench, or get draft picks. Who knows? Because you need those always in the NBA. That DeJounte is the biggest X factor this season because you don't know right now what you're going to get from him, right? And he's going to miss a third of the season. So the Pelicans' record when he comes back is going to be heavily influential.
Yep.
The health of the rest of the team obviously is going to be very heavily, and the development of Jeremiah Fears, which is critical to this team. Because as much as folks like Derek Queen, Jeremiah Fears to me has superstar potential when he has the look.
Yeah,
he got the game and he's got the look in his eye.
I agree.
Of
So I'm
somebody
doing a
who
little
wants to
trip
be
out and all of that.
He's not Fears, and you see it. They said you saw that in media day. Fears, they were like, "Oh, he's a good kid and he's goofy and that's fine and dandy." And I hope he gets along with everybody in the locker room. But what do they talk about when they talk about Fears? This kid gets it. They got to tell him to stay out of the gym. He wants to go hard every minute. He knows about change of speed. That's a superstar mentality. And when a kid comes in with that at 18, you gotta grow that. You gotta stoke that flame.
Yeah.
I'd rather have to pull him back too and say you're going too hard than say, hey man, we need you to ramp this up. Can you give us a little more? Joe Dumars said his legs were hurting because he's going so much. That's what you want out of an 18-year-old. That's the Mamba mentality that people say that they want. That dude's always talking about. I got the. That's it. Work out till you hurting. Work out till the coach says go home. Till the GM says go home. That's the mentality that you
Didn't
want.
Kobe walk off the court with a torn Achilles heel
You know what I'm
at
saying?
one point? That
And
dude
said,
had
"Don't
it.
touch me." Told the trainers, "Don't do. I'm gonna do this myself."
That's real.
Well, that's what I'm grateful for because I do believe that Joe Dumars will make the tough decision because, yes, Murray is the wild card. Well, Fears is the wild card. Murray is the questionable piece. And if anyone, and we all know in New Orleans, we're loyal to a fault. If anyone can make the hard decision, it'll be Joe Dumars to move forward. Hopefully, like you said, Fears ascends to that number 2 position because at the end of the day, we still kind of shooting ourselves in the leg a little bit with defensively with Alvarado on the floor. And that's why I brought up the point that Fears is 6'4". Yes, he is 18 years old, but he does also put the ball in the hoop. So I believe Joe Dumars will be the one that makes that tough decision, and I will live with it. But as far as the team structure, because we're also forgetting about Bay.
Yeah, Sadiq Bey.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see what he can do on the wing for us because we need wing defenders when it comes to teams like Memphis and Oklahoma.
Yeah, I mean he's 6'7". He's a guy who's averaged double figures in the NBA. He's had a 50-point game in his career.
Wow.
So that's I think that you're looking at him to be your next Najee Marshall. You know what I mean? That guy who's
Makes
going to come
sense.
off the bench, knock down some open shots, push the tempo when he's got the ball in his hands, attack the rim, and be a pest defensively. A guy who could play the 3 or small ball 4. So I really like the addition of Sadiq Bey, and you also only have him for 1 year, so it's not a big contract commitment as well. So if you really like him, then you can extend him. But if not, again, he's a movable piece. I think the other guy that this is the guy that I think that Joe Dumars most identifies with is Herb Jones.
Oh, for sure.
Because I think when he looks at Herb Jones, he sees himself.
He sees himself.
Yeah.
Yes,
He sees
sir.
a small town
Yes.
guy, quiet, professional, does his job. And I think the other thing he sees in Herb Jones is a young Dennis Rodman. Not
I
the
can
same
see
kind
that.
of personality, obviously.
But defensively,
But
I can see
defensively,
that. I can
and
see
this
that.
is why he gave the
Unselfish.
extension to Herb Jones. Because what would you think Dennis Rodman's value is to the teams? If you had to put him in today's dollars, what was his value to the Bad Boys? What was his value to the Bulls? You know what I'm saying? And you don't measure it just by his stats.
Right.
Even though he's the leading rebounder in the league
Right.
and the best defensive player in the league, you didn't measure it by his stats. It's the overall contribution. What does he do to the other team psychologically?
Immeasurable.
What does he do to his own teammates because of the effort that he brings every night?
I mean,
You know what I'm
people got to
saying?
realize
Measure.
Dennis with the Bad Boys, he didn't have no color in his hair. He was younger.
Well, and we knew Dennis averaged 10 points when he played in Detroit. So we always knew that he can score the ball
he was a hustler,
offensively.
too.
It's just that when he went to Chicago, he personally
He
decided
made the decision. I don't need
that
the
he
buckets.
wasn't going to score points anymore. He was going to be
party.
the best defender. He was going to party. And he was going to be the best rebounder. And just to have that wherewithal, that price tag for Dennis would be immeasurable.
D. Grubb, you know what I liked about Jordan when they were talking about the second chance?
Mhm.
When Dennis was wilding out there, but and Jordan's like, he's all right. He's going to be good. We don't have no issues because you knew he a dog. I mean, everybody had their different,
Everybody wants to win.
Everybody wants to win. And
Everybody
when you
wants
have
to
a
win.
guy who will do, and obviously it's different personalities where Dennis was in a lot of ways seeking affirmation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
On a
he was
cool,
looking for the
yeah,
Pistons to embrace him and be his
Right.
brothers. And we seen it. Just a quick diversion, but you saw the psychological parts that Dennis talked about with the breakup of the Bad Boys. It really hurt him.
Mm-hmm.
But with Herb, you have a more steady personality,
Yeah.
certainly.
Oh, definitely.
But what you're getting is the same kind of effort, that same kind of intensity, that same kind of desire to win, and that same kind of single-mindedness. Because nobody ever talked about what Dennis is wearing, and Shaq would joke about he would just get out the game and wouldn't even shower, just go to the club, and the women be all over him. Herb, they asked Herb about his clothes and stuff. Now that he got money, he said,
All free.
why am I wear anything other than? He said, I change into my uniform as soon as I get here.
Right.
So why I'm dressed all cool for 5 minutes to walk in? I'm gonna wear these free gear, this free gear that the Pelicans give me till I
I'm
die.
thinking about Dennis, man. Now y'all got me memory jogging. Bad Boys, then San Antonio,
And San Antonio,
then Bulls,
Mhm.
and then
and won 60 games with all 3 of those teams.
wow.
Just
Wow.
that coach couldn't deal with him.
Remember,
and-
David Robinson won an MVP next to Dennis. That was with Dennis
Wow,
next
that's
to him.
Right. That's right.
You know what I'm saying? David Robinson won no other MVPs.
Right.
That
The
was
one he
in
won was
93,
standing next to
94,
Dennis, and they were the
95.
number
game.
1 seed in the West. And then they got rocked by Hakeem. But
That's real.
that was Dennis.
That was Dennis. Wow. Man, that dude, and to compare Herb Jones to that's a big honor. And I mean, he earned it, getting defensive player.
Oh, for sure.
Top 5 defensive player of the year, all first team defense. And a dude who also, in his last healthy year, shot 50, 40, 90, basically.
He did improve. He did improve.
50, 40, 90.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The offense, like last year, people go, Herb played 20-something games, the offense was off. But if you look again at the deeper numbers,
Mhm.
again, you don't look at people, if you just box score watching, you're not watching the game. But when
Correct.
you look deeper in the numbers, Herb still led the Pelicans at on-off. You know, the difference between how good they were when he was on the court to how bad they were when he was off. Nobody had a bigger gap than Herb. Better than Zion.
Wow.
Better than Zion last year.
On the cool.
That's the type of information
Yeah.
we be needing,
And over
bro.
in his career with the Pelicans, every year Herb has been 1 or 2
Wow.
for the team in on-off. When you
Uh-huh.
get to net rating, Herb has been 1 or 2 every year since he's been with the team. So don't tell me when folks say Herb need to score. Herb don't need to score no 16 points a game. How many points a game Lou Dort scored last season?
I have no idea.
10.3. Okay?
Wow.
Lou Dort scored 10 points a game last season. I don't need Herb Jones to score 17.
Yeah, we really don't. We need Herb to do what he does.
Do what you do, Herb.
And defensively. And I see why you say this team can win 45 games. I mean, like right now, I would say the projected starting lineup is Jordan Poole, Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, Zion Williamson, and Messi. Kind of Looney, kind of weigh that out, you know.
Because I think at the center spot, the question is, do you prefer experience over athleticism?
Yeah.
Because I think Messi's upside is higher than Looney's. You know, Looney is what he is. He's 28, 29. He is what he is as a basketball player.
Right.
But what he is what you know exactly what he is.
Right. And
he's going to rebound. He's going to play defense. He knows how to operate in space. You know what I mean? As a screener and as a off ball, just moving and getting into the right spots. Because you had to do that with Golden State.
Yeah, and
he's a winner.
You kind of, in the same way you would look at Alvarado, he has the experience if you do have to, you know, put Jeremiah Fears in.
Mm-hmm.
Man, D. Grubb, we could go all day. You know we can. Before we let you go, I want to check and see what you got coming up. But I just want to get your opinion on the entire season for the New Orleans Saints. Like, obviously, we're in the first half.
Smile on
like, so just give me your take on what needs to improve on this team for the rest of the season.
Like, I understand everybody won't be like, well, they played better against Buffalo. I don't take anything in one game samples, and I think you would say the same.
Mm-hmm.
One game doesn't – I'm looking at what you've done over 4 games, right? And I think the concern is 2 things. Number one, they have no ability to go downfield. None. None.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Spencer Rattler is throwing 5 yards, 7 yards every time.
What you mean with all the speed guys we have? All the speed guys we have?
I would say, you know, like all your receivers are 5'10",
right?
Which is another problem,
right?
Yeah.
And you could see that he's clearly dependent on Juwan. Like,
oh, for sure,
he's looking for Juwan every time that they snap the ball. But I think this. Look, you ain't going to the playoffs. You ain't winning 5 games this year. It's time, in my opinion. I would trade Alvin Kamara. The first team I would call is Kansas City. I would trade Chris Olave.
We ain't gonna get enough for him.
But hey, look, paying him don't make sense. If somebody want to give you a 5th rounder, like, I'm sorry, like a dude with that many concussions at that height.
You made a T-shirt out there.
Like, what are we doing? Like,
paying him don't make sense.
It doesn't. I don't think it does. And I think you need to look. Somebody may want DeMario Davis, quite frankly. Somebody who's looking for a push on the defensive side. Talk to a team like. Actually, let's talk to a team like Baltimore.
I was just about to say Baltimore because
Baltimore's whole defense is hurt.
Yeah.
Could Baltimore ask for Cam Jordan? Could you give Cam? Like, I know people love Cam, but there's nothing to do anymore. Ain't nobody gonna be mad. They traded Ricky Jackson to San Francisco.
That's fact.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Look, we saw Morton Anderson play for the Falcons.
Right.
Yeah,
I've seen Saints greats leave before.
Emmitt Smith played
for the Cardinals.
I'm not beholden to anyone.
You know what I'm saying? At this stage, Cam is never going to fulfill his dream of winning a Super Bowl in New Orleans. It ain't going to happen, right?
Right.
So if the Ravens said we give you a 4th rounder for Cam, would you listen?
That will replace that 4th rounder that we gave up for Vele.
So I think it's time. It's time to start doing the sale off. Because and I think if you're going to – there's no point in sticking with Spencer Rattler either. I'm not saying he's done. But I'm saying if I'm paying Tyler Shuck, again, guaranteed deal, and he's 26.
We did guarantee.
Then might as well play him too, because I'm not winning. I'm not winning. And I'm not. What are you doing with Alvin Kamara's career? Are you just paying him to run him into the ground? Is that what you're going to do? Is just get this man beat up like you've done the last 3 years? The checks are nice, but you know you wake up with pains, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Them things going to hurt. You know what I'm saying? You're taking a lot of unnecessary hits right now, Alvin. You saw some of the throws that Spencer was throwing yesterday.
He took
was
one.
leaving people out to dry.
Yeah, he looked back at it.
You know what I'm saying? There was some Derek Carrs, out there. Were you leaving your guys? So, I mean, I think if Kellen Moore's got a lot to learn, of course, and any first-year head coach does. But I think they just made a mistake of trying to hold on to memories, man.
Right.
Like, the team was going to be bad this year. You just knew. Right. Like, that doesn't mean the players are all terrible, but the offensive line ain't good. The defensive line, you're asking dudes to do stuff they ain't supposed to do. Carl Granderson ain't supposed to be dropping into coverage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Kincaid of all people.
And your linebackers are small. Werner's a big safety. He's not a linebacker.
Right.
Yeah.
And he can't make sideline to sideline plays. You know what I'm saying? So, and DeMario's 36. It's not the same. It just ain't. And so I think the secondary ain't what it was a year ago either.
Yeah.
Not even
Yeah,
close.
young.
We don't even have a true number one.
You've given away every corner you had over the last 2 years.
This is true.
I bet you they want Marshawn back now.
So I think it's just build now. Because what are you chasing? You're not going to catch Tampa. You're not going to catch them. They're going to win the division. Atlanta may. I don't know, but I think Tampa's the favorite at this point, right? You'd say Tampa's played the best so far of the teams in the South. You ain't catching them. And even if you did, you ain't winning a playoff game.
Hey.
So let's start looking at the future because fans are tired. I think that's the overall sentiment is you can accept being bad if there's a goal.
Right.
If we build into something.
Right.
But do you feel like the Saints are building to something right now, or are they just filling roster spots?
Right.
Yeah, this is what we see.
Yeah. So on tomorrow, when everybody decides they hate me because I said trade Alvin Kamara, it'll be both of us.
Hey, hate me, man. Like it ain't nothing. Like it's not personal.
No,
this is business.
It's not personal.
It's business.
Business.
I mean, look what value Alvin Kamara would bring to a Kansas City. Look what value. I mean, with the injuries, you saw Baltimore. Look what type of value DeMario would bring.
I'm
on
sure
Cam.
Coach will give us a pretty penny.
Yes,
for
indeed.
Al.
Well, man, D Grubb, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Always.
Y'all make sure y'all follow him on X at DM Grubb.
Bro.
Check him out, Boot Crew. Man, hey, look, y'all gonna go back and watch this, man. He was dropping some real dimes, brother. And I appreciate you once again, always coming on the show, my
I love
brother.
y'all
Thank you,
brothers,
brother.
and I
Thank you.
appreciate what y'all do and keep doing it, man. Just y'all bring the real to folks, and y'all do it in a very New Orleans way. You know what I'm saying?
Hello, somebody.
Like, if you want to talk
I
about,
love that.
I would say this is the most New Orleans daily, New Orleans show out there right now.
I
And in a
appreciate
city that ain't got a lot of options.
Right.
We should have more, and like more New Orleans local sports out here. But if anybody talking about what's the New Orleans sports show, that's y'all, baby.
Man, I appreciate that, man. That means a lot.
For sure.
D Grubb, baby. As always, y'all make sure y'all follow him again at DM Grubb. Check out Boot Crew Media as well. We want to thank him for coming on the show. When we get back, we're going to put a ribbon on this thing, wrap this thing up. Y'all stick around. It's Inside the Trenches right here on ESPN Baton Rouge. Hello, somebody.
Inside the Trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Conquer Sports Professionals.
Hello, somebody. It's Marlon Big Fave Favorite, Super Bowl champion and national champion. Here's the truth. Almost anybody could play college football and get a scholarship or financial aid if they know who's looking for them. Now, you may not be a Division I or Division II football player, but that doesn't mean you can't play college football on the next level. There's hundreds and thousands of schools out there that's looking for football players like you to give you a great education. Right now, the average cost of school is $27,000 a year. That means that's $180,000 just to graduate. Imagine cutting that number down with a football scholarship or financial aid support. At Conquer Sports Pros, we find the right schools that fit you, your talent, your goals, and your future. And they will pay for your education through football. Don't waste time guessing. Let us connect you with coaches and programs that are already searching for players like you. If you're serious about playing football in college to pay for your education, click the link below or visit csportspros.com and schedule a call today. Hello, somebody.
Conquer Sports Professionals.
Inside the trenches.
Inside the Trenches.
Are you a high school football player who's tired of waiting on college coaches to notice you? What if I told you there's a way to get real colleges to reach out to you with scholarship offers and a financial package? If you are a junior or a senior who is serious about playing football on the next level and having school paid for, well, this video for you. Hello, somebody. Let me introduce myself. My name is Marlon Big Fave Favorite. As a defensive lineman, I won a national championship with LSU in 2007 and then won a Super Bowl championship with the New Orleans Saints in 2009. Today, I'm a part of a broadcasting team who does the pre- and post-game analysis for the LSU Tigers. You might catch me on other media outlets talking sports as well. But here's what I'm mostly passionate about. My real job is running Conquer Sports Professionals. At our New Orleans and Baton Rouge's facilities, we specialize in elite training for high school and college-bound football players. We provide position-specific training, strength and conditioning, and speed training to help our athletes dominate on the field. But that's just part of what we do. The big part of what we do is we help high school football players secure offers to play college football and pay for their education. Here's the reality most players face. High school coaches just don't have enough time to do all the recruiting work that you need. You show up to 7-on-7s and camps, hoping some coaches will notice you out of 500-some kids. What usually happens is you waste your entire weekend because nobody was actually watching you. Most guys just throw their applications into a void, hoping something sticks. That's not strategy. That's gambling with your future. Here's where we're different. We have a network of 1,000 coaches and scouts representing every level of college football from Division I FBS, FCS, Division II, Division III, NAIA, and junior colleges. We start with a complete skill assessment. We discuss your football and your educational goals. Then, based off your talent, we personally contact coaches and scouts who are looking for exactly what you bring to the table. We don't send out emails. We make direct, personal contacts. Why does our approach work so well? Because me and my team here at Conquer has years of experience in the sports world. Our network is broad and vast, and we can get you in front of coaches and scouts who can offer you a spot. Here's what this means for you. Number one, you never have to worry about what to say, how to say it, or when to say it. You just show up, play your best, and let the results take care of themselves. Number two, when a coach responds, we personally prep you for each call and visit. We walk you through what to expect, what to say, and how to make a strong first impression. Our team of former NCAA and NFL players manages the outreach, sending and replying to messages every single day. This makes it almost impossible not to get noticed by a college program. But we don't just reach out randomly. We write messages to show real intent, why you like their school, references to their program, and their academic reputation. We make it personal, real, and human. We have direct contacts and relationships with the decision makers. So a coach just don't see a name or a stat. They see you, a player that belongs in their locker room, and they trust that we will only send players that fits their program. Now, I can't cover everything in this short video, but if you like what you heard so far, or if you're even a little bit interested, click the link below and book a call with our team. Worst case scenario, you leave with a clear plan on how to control your recruiting process. Best case scenario, we work together and you sign a college offer with a scholarship. And if it doesn't work, we'll keep on working. We'll find a way to get you somewhere. There are tons of opportunities out there, and we'll help you discover them. So is this worth 30 minutes of your time? Absolutely. The only real risk is doing nothing and watching another season go by without hearing from a school you should be playing for. Even if you're unsure or on the fence, book a call anyway. The application just takes minutes. And if we can't help you, we'll let you know right away. Click the link below and we'll see you on the call. Hello, somebody.
Dentro de las trincheras.
Well, time does fly when you're having a good time, don't it? Welcome back to Inside the Trenches. It's your host, Marlon, Big Favorite. Right? Just like that, we're up on our last segment. As a matter of fact, we're going to get in and out, but we want to take this time once again to thank all of our sponsors for the show. Big shout out to the Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Get Gordon, get it done.
Get it done.
Remember, right here in the New Orleans area, you can hit up 504-800-8888. And remember, let them know that you heard about them right here on Inside the Trenches. and get going and get it done. Next, we want to take this time to thank Conquer Sports Pros. Conquer Sports Pros, that's right. If you're local and you're looking for in-season training, we're running programs right now for our high school and college students. We have NFL players getting their off-season workouts, guys getting ready for their Canadian football seasons as well. Hit up our crew. You can also visit that same site, csportspros.com, to get with one of our coaches. And remember, if you have a kid or your friend has a kid, it might be a neighbor of yours who's playing high school football right now, doing a good job, but they hadn't got any offers. They're flying what we like to call under the radar. You can also visit that site and schedule a consultation. Call at at csportspros.com and schedule your consultation. And, got to give a big shout out to my girl, Dr. Kendra.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Kendra, shouts out. CL had to throw that oh yeah in there because he wearing the throw. He got the jerseys on. You know what I'm saying? He's showing off.
Thank you, Doc. I'm continuing to let summertime rain from your products and all your tutelage. You've literally changed my life by those great words you've given me, and will continue to be the example of the fitness that she preaches.
We truly appreciate her and all that she does for the show. Remember, you too can have the same results CL have if you visit stillbody.org and schedule. You can schedule a consultation session with her. She can, one thing Dr. Kendra talked about on the show the other day, guys, that really stood out. She talked about how they're also going to start doing the meal prepping again.
Okay.
Especially for our athletes. So that's something that is huge. So we really greatly appreciate that as well. Also, CL, we dropped the flyer earlier. Look, I'm going to pull it up. I was trying to pull it up on my computer. I have it right here on my phone. That's right. We're calling all restaurant and catering businesses. If you want to serve up your brand in front of all of these passionate sports fans right here on ESPN Baton Rouge, you could definitely do that right here on ESPN on Inside the Trenches podcast. Listen, you could bring samples of, like Steak Man did. He brought samples of oysters and pork chops. We tried it right here. So with this new segment, we will pre-record it, but it will air right here on the show, featuring your food, all the mouthwatering flavors you guys have out there. They got these folks coming out from Baton Rouge all throughout the New Orleans area. Watch this show. Don't come right here to New Orleans. Might want to go to your spot or get them to cater to the next event. Guys, we're about to wrap here. We got like a minute left on the show. Final thoughts, CL. The Saints are coming up on the New York Giants. LSU has a bye week. Tulane's winning. Your final thoughts on the sports here?
I think B. Grubb's made a buoyant point. I think it's time for us to have a fire sale considering the New Orleans Saints. Get what we can and edge forward towards the future.
Little Chris, tell me what you think, man. Final thoughts on the sports world here locally.
Sports here locally. Fire Mickey Loomis.
That's been common.
Yes. Fire Mickey Loomis. Tulane playing some good football right now. Hopefully we can see him in the AC championship game again. And we'll see how LSU does the rest of the season.
Well, y'all, that does it for another episode of Inside the Trenches. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I hope y'all have a blessed week. We're going to keep this thing rolling, baby. We'll be back. Same time, same place next week, right here at the Loyola Studios. Big ups to our production crew. Shouts out to all our sponsors, and shouts out to you. See you next week. Have a good one. It's Inside the Trenches.
Dentro de las trincheras.